Hello guys, it's the Random Man here, and today, as you can tell from the story, we're going to be talking about the Saints Row story. So to start off, I thought I'd start by talking about all the factions in all four of the games. If you're watching this and Saints Row 5's out, then it's not out at the moment. In fact, Saints Row 4 isn't even out yet. It's still got another 10 or so days. Well, I think 13 or something. I'm not sure. 14 maybe. But yeah. So, here's all four of them that I've got on my Xbox. When I talk about them, I'll just have them highlighted. I should have annotations highlighting either one of them, and you can just click on that and it will take you to when I'm talking to them, basically. So start off by talking about the factions. So in the game, altogether there are 10 gangs, 4 authorities, one alien faction. So the 10 gangs are the 3rd Street Saints, as you all know. Then in Saints Row, you get the Vice Kings, the West Side Rollers, and the Canales. Then in Saints Row 2, you get the Ronin, the Brotherhood, the Sons of Samedi. And in Saints Row 3, you get the Syndicate, which are split into 3 diversions: the Deckers, the Luchadors, and the Morning Star. And as we all know, in Saints Row 4, you get the Zinyak Empire, which is the alien faction. In Saints Row, you get the Stillwater PD, and then in Saints Row 2 you get the Stillwater PD again, and the Ultor PD, Police Department, that's what PD means. In Saints Row the 3rd, you get the Steelport PD and the Stag Special Tactical Anti-Gang Unit. And in Saints Row 4 you get the Zinyak Empire, which are, I guess, the authority, but they're also an alien faction. I guess you also get Stillwater PD, and yeah, that's pretty much all I know about it. So the creation dates of them: Saints Row was released in 2006, Saints Row 2 was released in 2008, Saints Row 3 was released in 2011, and Saints Row 4 is released in 2013. So, I think I said them right. I think I said Saints Row 3 was released when Saints Row 2 was. I don't know. Anyways, not to confuse anyone. So, I'm just going to quickly give you a brief background of all the gangs that I mentioned, and Ultor, Stag, and the Zinyak Empire. So, Vice Kings are, their leader is Benjamin King, well, was, until he got overthrown by Warren Williams, who then got overthrown by Tanya Winters. So it's a big, weird cycle of different leaders. So, basically, Vice Kings were brought up in Sunnyvale Gardens by Benjamin King, and Julius Little was a part of the gang, but Julius Little wanted to step up and do something about all the violence happening in the city, so he formed his own gang in the church, the 3rd Street Saints. They're obviously the main gang that you play as, so I'm not going to talk about them because you already know about them. So the Vice Kings are yellow. Then the West Side Rollers, so they are a Asian, I guess, an Asian gang that are formed in the suburbs of Stillwater. They were based on car racing and reckless driving and drag racing and such, owning nightclubs and dealing some offside drugs, mainly to do with cars. Their gang colour is blue. Then there's the Canales, or Los Canales, but not the Los Canales. Their gang colour is red. They're a Spanish gang that operate in the dock areas of Stillwater, and they're the drug pushers, the main cartel for drugs. So in Saints Row 2, you get the Ronin, which are their gang colour is yellow, same as Vice Kings, but it's more of a gold. They are a Japanese yakuza that have decided to go international with their gang and try and take over Stillwater, based in America. Then there's the Brotherhood, same as the Canales. Their gang colour is red. They're just a bunch of truckers with tattoos, lots of piercings, lots of body mods. Their gang leader is Mero. Oh, I haven't been talking about the gang leaders other than Vice Kings. Sorry about that. I'll just quickly go back and tell you about them. The West Side Rollers is run by William Sharp. William Sharp and Joseph Price. The Canales are run by Hector Lopez, Angelo Lopez, and Victor, which is their bodyguard. Then there's Luz Ramos, which is Angelo's girlfriend, and the people supplying them with the drugs are the Colombians. The reason I didn't list them as an actual gang faction is because they haven't got their own colour or their own territories. They're just a mentioned gang. Then back to the Ronin. Their leader is Shogo Akuji, and his father is Mr. Akuji, who comes to America to sort out his son's gang, but ends up both of them getting killed. So the Brotherhood is run by Mero. His girlfriend Jessica sorts out the money and hit squads, and then they have a personal tattooist called forgotten his name now. Sorry about that. Then there's the Sons of Samedi. Their leader is called the General. He's the one that pushes the drugs in this one. Their gang colour is green, so it's kind of funny because it's the same colour as cannabis. They're a Jamaican. They're from a Jamaican nature, and their second in command is Mr. Sunshine, and their street drug pusher is Veteran Child. He's a DJ for what's it called? Generation X radio station. So then in Saints Row 3, the third, you get the Syndicate, which is 3 divisions: the Morning Star, the Luchadors, and the Deckers. See, the story behind them was a man named Philippe Loren wanted a bigger gang, and so he recruited the Luchadors and the Deckers, which were separate gangs, and united them together to be a syndicate. So the leader of the Morning Star is Philippe Loren, Viola, and Kiki De Winter. Then the leader of the Luchadors is Kilbane, aka Eddie Pryor, and the leader of the Deckers is Matt Miller. Then that's all the gangs. The authorities, I'm just talking about Ultor and Stag. Ultor are basically a corporate. Well, they were originally a clothes designer, a clothing brand in Saints Row. Then Saints Row 2, they became a corporation, and they got their own Masako team, which is a private army, and they got to operate in the Saints Row area as their own police department with their own uniform. And Stag, which is introduced in Saints Row the 3rd, Special Tactical Anti-Gang Unit, are they're just basically military with laser weapons and big cars and tanks that try and stop you but still fail because you're awesome. And then the Zinyak Empire is just basically an alien called Zinyak, who basically has a whole empire of aliens, and he's trying to enslave humans. So that's all about the factions, and let's actually get into the story of the game. So this is Saints Row, first installment. Well, I guess technically Saints Row 2 is actually Saints Row 3, because there was a mobile, like an old Nokia brick phone mobile game that was released. It was Saints Row. It was quite good. I never got to play it, but I did watch some gameplay of it. If you text a number that was in the back of the booklet of your Saints Row case, you could actually get the game. It's not available anymore today, not surprising, but you know, it's quite funny. So Saints Row, you're just a kid from the streets. You're just walking about one day in a rundown area where you live because you can't really afford anything better. You're quite poor, and you know, you've always got hustlers trying to sell you cheap watches, whatever, and you run into a gang war, sorry about that, where you get recruited by Julius Little, the original leader of the Third Street Saints. And when you get recruited into his gang, sorry, you work your way up through the trains and become a lieutenant. You also take the whole of Stillwater for yourself, but it ends up in a tragedy because Julius's main mission was to stop the violence in the streets of Stillwater. But what he realised is once he'd taken over Stillwater, he was just doing exactly the same what the other gangs were doing, pushing drugs and dealing violence. So he decided to end the Saints. And in Saints Row 2 you can actually hear a dialogue between him and Troy after finding out Troy is an undercover cop. Oh yeah, spoiler alert! So yeah, but I don't think I think everyone knows the story of it now. Well, most people started playing it Saints Row the 3rd, so that's why I'm giving this rundown and story of Saints Row, now that the 4th one's coming out soon. So yeah, getting back to what I was talking about, so he ends the gang and he blows you up while you're on the future Mayor Alderman Hughes's yacht as he was going to a party. So quite tragic, but you actually survive and get awoken in a coma in the second Saints Row. So your plan in this is to go rescue Gat, soak up as much information as you can, as Carlos said. He's a lieutenant for the second gang. You become the leader of the gang in this one, and you basically rebuild the Saints and retake over Stillwater. So you just kill anyone in your path. You go against obviously the 3 gangs that I said and Ultor. So once you've taken over the city, you decide to do what you can now do what you want. So you get bored and you decide to rob a bank, which leads us to Saints Row 3. In this one, you end up getting caught whilst trying to rob the bank. The Saints also become a household name, selling energy drinks, t-shirts. They got your own clothing brand line of shops, you know, like Planet Saints. You basically become a celebrity. You start living in the penthouses and all that, the great places. Well, obviously you get to buy penthouses in the second Saints Row, but this time it's for real. You become a celebrity, but you're still a gang. So through that, you rob a bank, as I said. You get caught by the police. Then the syndicate pay to have you captured, even though you pay them a certain ransom every month to make sure they keep off your back. So the the syndicate end up capturing you and taking you aboard their plane, which is flying towards Steelport, where Philippe Loren offers them a chance to work with him, which the Saints obviously turn down, which leads to them breaking out of the plane and unfortunately getting injured or killed. I'm not sure, because I know he's returning in Saints Row 4, but I don't know if he's like a clone of Gat or whatever. Well, obviously not, but I don't know whether he's brought back to life or not, so I can't really say whether he died or got injured or anything. But yeah, so this time it's taken over Steelport and showing the syndicate who's boss, and through that you end up becoming a part of a special tactical unit thing. You end up taking out all the gangs basically, and here you come from here. The game starts, Saints Row 4, the game starts with you taking down a group of terrorists. What's it? I'm trying to think of what the word is. Sorry about this, guys. you basically stop a rocket. You deactivate the rocket. That's the word I'm looking for. You deactivate the rocket that they're sending in to blow up America, and through that you become the president. So from there you get attacked by aliens, and you got put into a steelport simulation where you have to break the obstacles, take over the simulation, and eventually beat Signac. And that's pretty much as far as we got. So in this one, you're just a poor person that's looking for a thing to do, finds a gang. Second one, you survive a I was going to say plane crash, a boat explosion, and you end up becoming the leader of the Saints this time. Then in this one you get captured by a gang, brought to a new city, and you take over that city. And in this one you become the president that's fighting aliens. So let's see what Saints Row has in installment for us next. But it's kind of funny because the producer said that Saints Row 4 will be the last installment in the series, but when you listen to like gameplay videos of where the producers show you some gameplay on YouTube channels such as Machinima, Revision 3, ING and all that, they talk as if they're not running out of ideas, and they got plenty of new ideas for the next Saints Row. So there could be a Saints Row 5, I'm not sure. But anyways, that is the story of Saints Row. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it hasn't just been a long, boring drag for you. I'll try to keep it as entertaining as I can. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Random Man. Comment, rate and subscribe.